Hello and welcome. We're going to be going through another part today. We're going to be looking at this thing right here. And what we're going to get started on here, I'm going to do this a little bit differently. I know last time or other times I've extruded piece by piece. This time I'm going to extrude most of this. I'm going to actually just extrude half of this. So the first dimensions we're going to be looking at here is basically just extruding a oblong shape here of sorts. We see we have a dimension of 60 going out across the bottom. That's to the center of this hole. This round here is 20, so we're going to add that together. This distance of 20 plus 60 is going to be a total distance of 80. Then jump right in here and start on this. Start sketch. Select this front plane. The swivel. So I'm looking at that. Draw a bottom line here. You're going to make this some 80 units long. Dimension tool. Again, I'm assuming this little part here is modeled in millimeters. Do it in inches, doesn't really matter what you do it in. We go back over here. This height that we are looking at is 10 units. We can see that over there, so we'll just assume that it's going to be the same thing over here. I think it's a safe assumption to make for the sake of what we're doing. Then we go a total distance of 20 back in. And I'm assuming this is also going to be another 20 units back to this area-ish here of sorts. It looks like we have a little bit of a round and a fillet going up there. So we do have a total of 100 units going up vertically through the center. So let's start with that and see if we can't work our way around and figure out exactly what it is we are looking at. This distance here is a total of 30 this hole is. So that's 15. That's a 10. So if we go 25 out, that should work fine for us. I'm just going to draw a rough line down. We'll figure this out from here as to what this should look like. It's going to come forward 10. But this distance here is going to be different. So we have a round here of 10 units. In a round of 30 and another round of 10. So let's go ahead and make an arc of 40 units here. So get the dimension tool. I'll just do an arc there. Get the dimension tool, make that 40. Then I'm going to get this coincident constraint. That's this first one here. I'm going to select this point, select that center point. Then what I'll do is get my line tool. I'm going to make just an arbitrary line for right now, coming in there, coming in there. Where I get that 40 from is this 30 here, plus this 10. Gets me that, and they seem to be meeting up. It looks like we have some sort of round fillet in there. I can't quite tell what's going on. We're just going to make them intersect at that line though. So this is rather easy to do. We don't have dimensions for these two lines. I'm going to click this coincident constraint. I'm going to click this point, click this arc, then click this coincident constraint, click this point right here, and they should come together. If you're not having them come together, I'm going to go back, just undo a few things here, such that it makes it so that they don't come together like you just saw. So let's say you drew this line like this on an angle. You didn't draw it perfectly horizontal. What you're going to see is something different, potentially. Make those 2 points the same, make these 2 points on that arc. You could see something like that. If you do this backwards like I did the first time, you're going to end up seeing much of the same. Put this arc point on this arc, this point on that point. We see we have this sort of Star Wars looking-esque ship here. And it's not what we're seeing here. This should be horizontal. This should be a flat surface. And it's not. It's on an angle. If you end up with this, it's totally fine. You can get this perpendicular constraint. You can select this line and then this vertical line here, and it should go together just fine. Then what we are going to do is extrude this whole thing forwards. So what you can do is click the green checkbox, click extrude. I'm going to swivel around so I'm seeing exactly what I'm selecting here, how it's extruding. And it's thinking. You're going to extrude those out. How far do we want to extrude these? It looks like a total distance of... That's 30. 10, here we go. We got 10, we have 50, so it's a total of 60 units we are going to extrude this out from. We are just going to model half this part. And the reason why we're just going to model half this part is we do have tools in here that are going to allow us to literally mirror both halves of the part across. It's going to make it very easy for us to work and do that. So that's the first thing we want to do here. That's our first step. I'm going to go ahead and stop this recording, and we'll come back in later videos and continue this part.